All right, day 7. Legs on the menu. Looking to hit them pretty quick, but hit them as well as I can. The plan is to start out with some squats, hoping that the belt squat machine's open. I've never used it before, but looking to try it out, hoping it's a good time for me. I think part of the problem with trying to start to squat heavier and heavier, at least in my case, is getting the bar to sit on my shoulders comfortably. I end up getting these like crazy marks on my shoulders, even if I don't try and push a lot of weight. Whether I do barbell squats or if even if I'm using like a hack squat or something that has the pads up on your shoulders. So with the belt squat, the weight's loaded onto your waist with the belt. So you get that benefit of not having to bear the load on your upper back and near your neck. And also, you're wearing a belt that way too, so it's a little extra added support and stuff. Like I said, I've never tried them before, so we'll see how they feel. After that, probably burn out with some extensions, probably burn out with some hamstring curls, obviously some calves. Based off of the past couple videos, I should probably be doing more calves, be doing calves more often, but I'll probably start incorporating that. We'll see. We shall see. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to do for these videos. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to watch through entire workouts where you're seeing every rep of every set. I'm not Mr. Olympia. I'm not Sam Sulek, right? So I shouldn't try to be doing the same thing. That being said, I'm trying to figure out what I do want to do. I'll probably at least keep the car talk. I'll probably still talk while I'm posing down. I'll probably want to give like insight or just talk while I'm in the gym. But just a couple things. One, it's annoying to talk to yourself when you're in the gym around other people, especially when it's crowded and stuff. I feel very whatever the word for opposite of courteous is, right? I feel like I'm a bit of a distraction almost. I don't know. If I was in somebody else's shoes and was watching what I was doing, I don't know if I'd be okay with it or if I'd think it was annoying or what, honestly. But that was kind of going off on a tangent. So, yeah, for one, the fact that I'm talking during the workouts in the gym, it's a little weird. And I think people think I'm a little weird for it. Part of just getting over the embarrassment is not worrying about what other people think and stuff. And I shouldn't really be concerned. I'm not getting in anybody's way, or at least I'm not trying to get in anybody's way. And I don't really think what I'm doing is unethical per se. So I don't know. And for two, like I had mentioned, I'm not Sam Sulek, even though obviously I'm trying to ride his wave a little bit, right? I think I got to switch up and differentiate, offer a unique product in terms of the videos that I'm putting out. I don't think that I could get away with just minimal editing, no talking, you guys just watching through workouts, and that's that. I'm nowhere near impressive enough. I don't have the personality to carry the videos through. So I'm probably going to start experimenting with chopping stuff up, improving my editing skills as I learn to edit these videos. I'll also probably start talking more like a YouTuber. Like if you're watching this right now and you haven't considered hitting the like button down below or consider subscribing or leaving a comment, which it just makes me cringe inside even just talking like that. But I'll have, you'll see things ebb and flow and you'll see me change and evolve into the YouTuber that, you know, I'll eventually become as this channel matures and as my bulk progresses. I don't really know how coherent that was, but I don't really want to spend too much time talking out here. I'd rather get right into the workout. All right, so let's head in there, do some belt squats, hopefully, but if they're taken, do something else and start to get the burn going. Loose. Okay. All right. So as you just saw, a couple sets on the belt squat felt pretty good. You know, it's not like the craziest amount of weight, but it's definitely you know, challenging myself for the early compound lifts. You want to try and like, you know, use your strength while you have it in the tank. You don't really want to be trying to do something like that at the end of your workout, unless you do, I guess. It's a whole other conversation. So moving over to these rear-legged, moving on to these Romanian deadlifts, straight-legged deadlifts. Basically just burning out the hamstringies, the hammer lamb, ham lamb, a dam, a dam. Oh. All right, so one plate felt pretty good. This bar is definitely not 45 pounds. It's a little shorter and doesn't feel as dense as a regular Olympic bar. It's just what I grabbed. I'm curious to see how heavy I can go next time. Probably grab a regular bar for that, but see how 2 plates feels. Like I said, it's not 225, but oh, that doesn't matter. What matters is the squeeze. Ooh, oh, what? Oh. All right, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but going up to 3 plates, not really 315, but it's definitely a PR for RDLs if I could actually move it. We'll have to see. Nope. I'm not entirely sure whether or not this is my ego taking over or if I'm just, starting to actually progress in strength. But there's only one way to find out, so. Oh. This is a raw too, so I mean, not that that's impressive, but. Oh, jeez. All right, see if I can move it at all. Nope. Probably won't be the last thing we do for hamstrings, but we got to start banging through the rest of this, so let's get it done. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Come on. Okay. Go to something else. Okay. Hopping onto the leg extension machine for a couple sets. Typically, I would do, there's like a single leg extension machine. All right, hopping on this leg extension machine for a couple sets. Typically, I would do, there's like a single leg extension that you could stack plates onto. And I can go pretty heavy on that. The thing about this is that the cable's a little like, I don't know, tense. It doesn't really let the weight move back and forth. So it feels like there's like too much resistance, which typically you want resistance to be a good thing. But you probably get what I'm saying when it comes to these machines. Also, the way that you adjust it is awful. There's not a lot of adjustment points, which are important. You want your, whatever. Let's just get into it. Try and go heavy at first, and then I'll burn out with lighter sets. Right. Oh. All right, well, the gym's closing in like a half hour, and I still got to pose, and I still got to try and do cardio, so I'm going to start sacrificing the rest periods on these bad boys. Probably trying to do 4 sets in total here, maybe 5, depends how I feel. Do a little bit of calves, and then it's off to the races. I'll do this for one more set. I'm trying to get 10, and I'm going to go down. Oh. Oos. Hey. Ow. All right, you know what? Scratch that. Feel real bad about it, but skipping cardio. I'm going to take this as an opportunity to reorient my schedule and actually, be doing cardio in the morning when I have opportunities to, or just get myself into the gym, make sure I have ample time so I'm not rushing around anymore. Oh, not ideal. And like I just said, I'm not happy about it. I'm actually pretty pissed. Just thinking for a second about just like going out for a run in the middle of the night, but I don't want to be too ridiculous, just a couple days, because I didn't do cardio yesterday either, so just a couple days. Or did I do cardio yesterday, but I didn't 2 days ago? I got to go back and watch. I don't know. But we got a couple more sets here. I guess we'll just bang it out for a couple more. So maybe 2 more real solid sets. And then some calves. Maybe another like hamstring glute thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. All right, finishing up on these extensions. I think I got an idea of what else I'm going to want to do if my quads aren't burned enough. That being said, though, we'll finish this out and then move on to the rest of what we're doing. Trying to find the right spot to grab is tough on these, and it's hard not to incorporate your forearms when you're pushing yourself down, pulling yourself down, whatever. Oh, jeez. All right, so I'm not going to show you the whole shebang here, but just going to rep this out on the calf extension just to get a little extra burn. I'm going to start doing calves even not on leg day, but it's good just to show you guys just a little bit of what we got going on. Well, run out of time here, so I'm just going to show you guys one set of this superset that I'm doing to finish out my leg workout. Just to feel like I completed the burn, I'm going to do these machine seated hamstring curls, and then I'm going to jump over and do the body weight sissy squats for probably 3 sets. So let's get into it. All right, well, leg day done. Pretty good leg day all in all. I can't really complain. Obviously, it was better than the last one I had, stuck at home or whatever. Ooh, the gym's closing up soon, so hurry up and get a couple poses done with my fucking chicken legs before we head out to the car. So I put most of what I had into those belt squats, which is fine, It just took away from, everything else that I did. Granted, everything that I did was still pretty good in terms of, how I gauge things, at least. Let's see, I think we're already starting to see a little bit of an improvement. I don't know if that's just because of the gym lighting that's in here or whatever, but it's really not, it's not a bad foundation to start off of. One big thing is being able to figure out how to actually flex your legs, And I'd say probably the biggest thing for me is actually getting a tan. I don't think I've ever had a tan above my kneecaps. Now that I think about it. Leaving a lot to be desired here, but hey, you know what? There's nothing but room for improvement the way that I see it. Been considering shaving my legs, never have. Might as well keep that streak going, but I don't know, just for sake of the gains, I might have to. All right, that's enough of that. You know, those belt squats were awesome. If you're somebody who you don't squat because of this or that, you avoid exercises because of limitations, and a lot of those could be completely legit. You should look into, even if you have to go to a different facility from what you're used to, you should look into equipment. You should look into exercises that could still be as hard and as challenging for strength and hypertrophy. You want to try and find exercises that can cater around your injuries and can still allow you to get good strength and hypertrophy in terms of, training. I think, something like a belt squat, there's probably plenty of older guys who just can't get a bar on their shoulders comfortably with enough weight on it to actually get the same type of challenge on their muscles and stuff that they would do in the belt squat. I think you get what I'm saying. Ooh. Also, and I just mentioned this before, it feels good to be able to put a couple plates on something and throw it around, not look silly. We're not here to exercise the ego, we're here to suppress the ego, but it's nice to throw out a bone every now and again, is it not? All right. That being said, let's get out of here and finish up this talk. All right. Day 7 in the books, legs done. Feel pretty good about it, but to be honest with you, there's 3 floors in the gym, and usually I gauge the fact that I'm done with legs by hardly being able to go up the stairs. When I was going up the stairs to leave, I wasn't really feeling that fatigued. I mean, obviously it was still a little difficult, but I could make it up without grabbing the handrail, which is that's how you know you definitely could have gone a little harder. If I had more time, if I had gone in a little earlier, maybe if I had done things differently where I didn't need to take as long of rest periods, like with the RDLs or whatever, doesn't matter. Still got legs done. I think that for me with legs, but for other people with a lot of things, you want to see instant changes. You aren't used to the idea of delayed gratitude, so you have a hard time staying committed because you don't see the results right away. When it comes to something like the gym, especially for those of you who are just getting into it for the first time, this doesn't really apply so much to people who are getting back into it, because building muscle for the first time as opposed to regaining muscle is something totally different. But it takes a long time when you're a new lifter to build that frame, to build a physique, save for the few of us who are genetically gifted enough to just be able to blow up. A little bit of a tangent, but shorter guys, they make memes about it. Shorter guys are genetically gifted to be able to blow up real quick as opposed to taller guys. There's all those memes about if a shorter guy looks at a weight, then he gains muscle and gets stronger, right? Which it's kind of funny because when you think about it, they're genetically gifted in the sense of the strength, but every short guy that I've ever spoken to, they would trade anything in the world for a couple inches of height. All right, whatever. That doesn't, tying back to what I was talking about, it takes a long time for a lot of us to gain a decent amount of muscle in the gym starting out. It takes months, it takes years. It comes on slow. You see yourself in the mirror every single day, so you're not going to see the changes as significantly as, say, the ant that you see every other Christmas. You have to fall in love with the grind. You have to fall in love with you don't have to fall in love with, but you have to remain consistent. You have to remain disciplined, or else you're not going to see those changes. For me, with legs, I had mentioned that my legs used to be really strong. Like probably when I was 16, I'd have no problem repping out 3 plates on the belt squat. And I let them atrophy. I wasn't doing the right thing in the gym. I was doing the typical gym bro, arms, skipping legs, yada yada. And now I'm at the point where they're severely lacking in terms of my development and in terms of functional strength. I don't want to go in there and have to squat 135, not be able to hit 2 plates. I probably can squat 2 plates at this point, but I think you get what I'm saying. It hurts the ego, but you got to suppress that. But that's not something that I'm going to let keep me from starting to do what I need to do to get over the hump so I can get to a place where I feel more impressed with my lifts. It's the same thing with these YouTube videos. My first video probably sucked. My first 10, 100, 1,000, who knows? You're going to get better and better with time, but you're not going to start out being a pro. You're not going to start out an expert. That's for a lot of things in life. Me personally, there's so many things that I could have delved into that I perhaps didn't because I knew that I wouldn't be as good at it as I wanted to, and I wasn't willing to put in the time and the effort to get better over time. So a lot of things take patience, they take consistency. I've said that, but it's a lot of these things, most people aren't willing to do it. Even the people who are willing to do it don't stay the path their entire lives. You'll see as you begin to run the race, eventually it's just you and your shadow at that last mile. There's not your peers, people around you, unless you start to surround yourself with like-minded people at each stage as you begin to progress throughout your journey to improve at any facet in life. You're going to notice that you're starting to be at a different point in life than other people. People aren't understanding your motivations, your ideologies, what you're doing with your life, because a lot of people just don't like to see other people begin to do amazing things. You're going to see people start to turn on you, or, maybe not turn on you, but doubt what you're doing. They might try to convince you that what you're doing might not be in your best interests. The thing about something like that is, and this is probably the case with most people that stay consistent in doing something that most people either don't believe in or they would never do it themselves, so they don't actually understand. You'll lose a lot of people in the beginning, and that way, if you fail, if you don't end up succeeding in whatever it is that you're trying to do, they could point and be like, well, I told you so. You should have listened to me. This is why I never supported this or that. The thing is, when you do succeed, people will jump on the bandwagon as if they never didn't support you. A lot of friends, I'm sure, are seeing what I'm doing with these videos and stuff, and they're either cringing or they're laughing, or one way or another, they just straight up don't support what I'm doing, right? On the off chance that I ever get any type of following, watch the ducks line up in a row and follow Mama Duck to the pond. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people only understand how to ride waves. They don't understand that they don't understand the depth of the ocean. They only understand the waves that permeate above the surface. These are the type of people who they don't understand the depth of an iceberg. Like when you talk about that type of metaphor, I don't want to get too ridiculous with like the analogy about water, but I think you get what I'm saying. A lot of these people, they're not going to understand until you make them understand. And a lot of times making people understand is by having something be outwardly accepted and celebrated by the majority of society, i.e. becoming famous, becoming viral. You got to think about what you're doing this for, who you're trying to impress. Whatever it is you're doing in life, the why and the who are the main motivations. When you take the context of something like working out, the gym or whatever, who am I working out for? Who am I posting these workout videos for? At the start of it, I said I'm doing it to document myself. But to be completely honest, there's a part of you inside that whenever you put something out on the internet, you want it to blow up. Am I in the gym trying to impress the people that are around me? Am I trying to prove something to my father? Am I trying to become stronger than the people who I felt were mean to me in high school? I don't know. Probably, maybe part of all those things, but these are the questions that you have to ask yourself. And I've lived a quarter of a century of life, and I'm only at the point now where I'm trying to figure out these big answers. So, I don't know. The sooner you get started on trying to figure these things out, the better you're going to be in terms of setting yourself down the right path and staying that path. A lot of times, and people make these type of analogies all the time, when you're going down a path, typically when you start the path and throughout it, you don't see the end right away. You have to continue to take the steps down the path and trust that the end's going to get there. You have to just focus on what you can see in front of you and continue to take the next steps to the point where you do reach the end. Oftentimes, when you're walking a path, you're walking it because you know that there will be an end. We're human beings, and a lot of us, if we don't see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, we're scared that it's not there. If we were to keep walking that path and know that that you might not reach that goal, there might not be an end, would you still walk it? I think right now I've been trying to walk a path and kind of starting to like power walk, trying to see the light because I'm starting to freak out. But that's where faith comes in. Whether it's faith in yourself, faith in your family, faith in your friends, whether it's faith in God. I'm not a religious person, but I think that faith is important. And there's a lot of things we don't know in this life, and we never will. It used to make me angry thinking about it, but you know, when a bird grows up in the nest, eventually it has to take that leap. Sure, that's an act of nature, but that baby bird taking that leap, there's two outcomes. It either falls and perishes, or it learns to fly and it soars. The reason I bring that up is faith, foundation, putting your entire heart into something that you're not sure if it'll be reciprocated, but you have to convince yourself that it will be. You have to convince yourself of truths that you can't genuinely internalize, or you struggle to genuinely internalize. Every one of us at some point in life is that baby bird, and we have to make that leap. I think what scares a lot of us is that we would fall into obscurity. There's an endless pit where there's nothing to land on. There's a powerful quote that pertains to, it's not going to be word for word, but it basically goes like this: when it's time to step into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing that one of two things will happen. Either you will find something solid to stand on, or you will learn to fly. Now, obviously, you probably can already tell what that means. I think a lot of us were scared to take that leap of faith. Fear is often what holds us back in life. And so many people that I either see or I know that reach out to accomplish something, and they do accomplish something. They set out and they reach their goals. All of these people talk about the leap of faith, the conquering of the initial fear, the getting over the hump. I'm telling you, it's going to be uncomfortable. I imagine, and this might be a stupid analogy, but people jump out of a airplane with a parachute on, you know, that is a ridiculously scary feeling. But so many people enjoy the thrill of skydiving. There's always going to be, with extreme reward, with extreme thrill, with the ultimate goals, when it comes to trying to achieve something, I think the greater that achievement, that thing that you're chasing, the greater the risk, the greater the risk, the greater you're going to have to work for it, the more discipline it's going to take, the less recognition you'll get for it while you're doing what you're doing. I don't know. I think a lot of life that's out there worth being lived has to be lived actively and wholly. It can't be half-assed. A lot of us are just going through life, working their 9 to 5, going home, watching their shows, doing this. They're stuck in their routines. They're not challenging themselves. They're not attempting to grow. They're not trying to reach anything. They just are. I'm not hating on anybody's lifestyle, and I'm not perfect myself by any means, so I can't, I don't deserve to be preaching from a soapbox because I've never accomplished anything myself to be able to tell other people what is. But regardless, I think what I'm saying is still relevant and it still has some truth to it. I think oftentimes a lot of what I'm saying doesn't necessarily come from me and my brain and my person. Eric isn't just a free-floating individual that has no outside influence affecting him. A lot of what I say and a lot of what I believe is a result of things that are outside. Like I said, I'm not very religious, but I genuinely feel like something is trying to tell me something and that I need to tell you something. I don't know. At any rate, I guess before it gets too weird, I'm going to just call it. Like I had mentioned once or twice before, legs were pretty good. Could have been better, but I'm sure that's what the next leg days are for, right? It's only up from here, only room for improvement. I'm excited to see what my legs will look like by the end of this bulk. The TikToks that I'm going to be able to make from the transformations if I stick with this are going to be insane. So I guess just in the spirit of trying to change up the videos, which I'll be doing in the near future. This video isn't going to be crazy edited, but maybe the ones in the future will. In the spirit of these YouTube videos, if you made it all the way to the end, leave a like, leave a comment. It's great for engagement. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike, and please tell me why so I could try to improve and change. If you haven't considered, or if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're a small channel. I'm just starting out, and I'm really trying to stay consistent and make it, regardless of what happens. I really want to create a genuine quality product for you guys, and even if it doesn't succeed in the terms of blowing up and being viral, that's not really what I'm setting out to do. So, you listening, you right now, if you resonated with anything I said or enjoyed any of it, seriously, thank you. Honestly, that's all I could ever ask for is genuine human connection, even if it's through these screens or whatever. So let's get out of here, slam the protein, eat some food, and then we'll be back here tomorrow for chest. See you later. Stay cool.